here at Romy TV Africa. I'm your host Emmanuel. Here is the newspaper review this morning. This 24th of November 2022. I'm not alone on the set. As always, I have my co-host with me,
Reginah.
And keep on following us at Romy TV Africa on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell for more news updates, and also follow us on our social media pages, Twitter, Instagram, and also on TikTok. And some of the news that are making headlines this morning: puzzle of missing daughter after visiting baby's father. A family in Nandi County has sent out a distress call to the public to help trace a mother and her daughter who went missing last month. Miss Izzy Langat, 32, left her workplace in Oyugi's Homa Bay County on October 24th with her 1.5-year-old daughter and traveled to Kisii to meet her baby's father. That was the last time her family heard from her.
Now, the two are said to have spent the night at home of Mrs. Langat's boyfriend, whom the distraught family honors as Eric. The man is said to be a taxi operator in Kisii town, according to Mrs. Doreen Langat, the missing woman's older and only sister. When we could not reach her, we called Eric's mother, and she confirmed to us that they had spent the night at her place. She then told us that the son had accompanied them to Kisii town. The following morning to board a vehicle back to Oyugi's, but since then we have not heard about them, Mrs. Langat told the nation on phone. The family was further alarmed when Izzy's social media accounts were deleted, prompting them to make a report at Oyugi's police station. Mr. Langat said that at first police traced Eric's phone number to Kisii Nubia area near Nyanchua Estate, but the phone has since been switched off.
And I quote, "We do not know what we can do, and we pray to God that we find them. We make an appeal to anyone who might have seen them to kindly report to any police station," Miss Langat added. Police in Kisii were not immediately available to give an update on the investigation. Well, this is a sad story. We're starting from when we see that this is a mother has just a mother and daughter is reported to be missing after just visiting the baby's father, and this will bring a lot of attention, whereby we want to know what actually really happened during this investigative period. We want to see, are they dead, or have they been kidnapped, or something else that has been happening behind the scene. What do you think? Is it the government shall get into this matter? And when I talk about the government, it's all about the police officers.
Okay, but sometimes, we tend to blame the police at many occasions, because this is not the fault of the police. So we cannot blame them. All they have to do is make sure that they solve the matter and make sure they bring back the missing lady. Because at first, we are not sure if what the plans were for this lady to go and see the baby's father. And then the baby's father has switched off the phone, so we are not really aware what was the deal between them two.
I agree, but what I'm saying is that we are not blaming the government, the police in any matter of that. We just want to see that we get the information about the lost mother and the daughter. We just want to know what really aspired to their demise.
Now, my wife chopped off my genitals, then forced an unidentified chemical down my throat. A mother of 5 was yesterday sentenced to 15 years in prison by a Maua magistrate's court after she was found guilty of the attempted murder of her husband chopping off his genitals. Chief Magistrate Tito Gesora said the prosecution had proven its case beyond doubt that the woman intended to kill her husband when she attacked him. The offense was committed on November 19, 2021 in Igembe North, Meru County.
The court heard how the woman attacked her husband as he slept, and declared that she wanted to kill him for refusing to subdivide his mirafam. The man recounted how shocked he was when he saw his wife lifting a panga over him at 3 a.m., striking his hand and limb. As he writhed in pain, she grabbed a kitchen knife and cut off a part of his testicles. The 60-year-old Mira farmer tried to raise the alarm but slipped into unconsciousness. His wife then attempted to force an identified chemical down his throat. The court was told. Their daughter, who was woken up by the commotion, started screaming, but her mother hit her and ordered her to shut up.
Now the child ran out and called for help, attracting villagers who rushed to the home. However, the woman was brandishing the panga shut the door. One brave neighbor, who also had a panga, stormed the house, disarmed the woman, and rescued the man. The woman then attempted to escape, but villagers caught her and wanted to lynch her. She was rescued by the chief, who took her to Laya police station.
Case investigating officers, police constable James Kanampiu, gave an account of the gory scene at the scene. He said the scene was covered in blood, and he found the several body parts as well as the bloody machete and knife used in the attack. Wow, this is another sad story again, where it's all about relationship issues. And when even you look at the woman herself, she looks like she's ready to do anything from that photo when you see down there. These situations of family feuds, we see that it's all because of a farm, Mira farm there in Meru. And this is a shocking incident whereby you just have a wife. The other day we talked about a man who killed his girlfriend, and now we see that a woman, it has turned to be a woman who has chopped off the man's private part. And this is a very disturbing issue, because when you see that a woman just gets angry because of a mirafam which they both own, it's a very disturbing issue.
Now, okay, for me, I'm really shocked about the story.
Yeah.
I think they still are people who are inhuman.
Yeah.
There are still people who don't know the value of lives, the value of humanity.
Yeah, yeah.
And such a woman, having the guts to chop off the genitals of the husband, a man whom she have known for all her life, then I think it's really, or maybe she was under the influence of something, or maybe that is who she is. But I think even the 15 years jail term she has been sentenced to is a bit low. Yeah. She should be added some other years in prison for her to learn the lesson. Because I think she's someone dangerous. Because even when the daughter was shouting when she was doing the act, she was even in the position of maybe even choking the daughter, because she was like angry and told her to just shut up. Yeah,
that's a very sad story. And in other stories, former President Uhuru Kenyatta Jubilee Party is walking a tightrope amid an onslaught by President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance (UDA) to capture its members even as officials. Instead, the party remains tightly in the Raila Odinga-led Azimio One Kenya alliance. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has declared an invasion on the party, particularly targeting leaders from Mount Kenya region, in a campaign to rally them into the UDA fold. The party now finds itself caught between President Ruto and Mr. Odinga's camps, putting ex-President Kenyatta, the Azimio Coalition Council chairman, in an awkward situation. Well, Mr. Gachagua has already come out. He wants to take over the Mount Kenya region again. Now he's trying to push the Mount Kenya leaders to come into the UDA party, and this is by going to the Jubilee, whereby it's being led by the former president, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. Do you think this is the right move when you see that because they are leading the nation, they can now come and take over where they want to be seen?
We have seen he has already given a deadline by 31st, by which he plans to have rallied all Jubilee leaders from Mount Kenya into the Kenya Kwanza, throwing Mr. Odinga and Mr. Kenyatta in the country. Now my question is, does he really have the right to do such an action? Because I believe every member of a party has the right to remain in the specific party that they want to be in. So Mr. Gachagua is overusing or abusing his power, giving them a deadline, of which it's not really a good thing. He has no position, or he has no right to make people, get into a party that they don't want to.
Well, just a reminder, dear viewer, keep on following us at Romy TV Africa on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and also on Instagram. Subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and just to keep you on toes, we have another sad story that comes into our newsroom right now.
Nairobi man arrested for allegedly burning his wife to death. Today it seems we have a lot of death cases.
We seem that to see that people now at the moment relationship are becoming into
marital conflicts.
Yeah.
Okay, now police officers in Nairobi County are holding a man who allegedly burnt his wife to death. Mrs. Grace Muhani died while receiving treatment at Kenyatta National Hospital for burns allegedly inflicted by her husband, Mr. Ronald Wanjala, in an incident that happened on November 12, 2022. The matter was reported at Huruma Police Station under OB number 542211-2022 by Mrs. Lena Kemunto. A police constable had gone to visit the deceased but was informed that she died on November 17, 2022.
On 12th November 2022, the deceased was taken to KNH by Medicines Sans Frontiers ambulance after the rider was reached out by a village elder over the incident. The elder also told the police on the same incident, and I quote, a police report seen by the reporter read in part. On Monday, November 14, 2022, the investigating officer of the case moved the court and filed a miscellaneous application in court seeking custodial orders to detain the suspect for 5 days before he is arraigned in court.
This is after police officers concluded that the condition of the victim was not that serious at the time. On Friday, November 18, 2022, the court ordered that the suspect is held for 14 more days pending conclusion of the ongoing investigations. The court made the ruling after it emerged that Mrs. Muhani was still undergoing some procedures at the National Theatre. The case will be mentioned in court on Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Following her death, the body of the deceased was moved to the Kenyatta National Hospital mortuary for an autopsy.
Homicide cases have been in an upward trajectory in the country in the recent past as lovers turn against each other.
Very true.
Yeah, that's the sad truth at the moment. We can't say there's a true relationship at the moment, because when you see that each and everyone at the moment, cases every now and then, it's all about deaths in a relationship or misunderstanding in a relationship. This will bring a lot of attention again when we see that are you really safe in your relationship? Because at the moment you'll see that you don't trust your partner, because when you just wake up in the morning, your partner maybe has lost interest already. He wants to do anything or she wants to do anything, and it will be a lot tensions in a relationship when you see your partner just changing to another type of animal. Yeah.
And being betrayed by a person who you really know and take as a partner, it's the saddest thing to take.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest pill to swallow. Because we are seeing now wives are turning against their husbands and husbands are turning against their wives. And formerly we also saw that children are also turning against their parents, which is not really a good thing.
Yeah.
So it's all about humanity and where we stand as human beings.
Well, from that sad story, we are going to take a short commercial break. Stay right there. When we get back, we're coming back with more news.
Other stories. The National Treasury is seeking the removal of Kenya Power Board directors in a fresh shake-up at the company. Treasury Cabinet Secretary Prof. Njuguna Ndung'u has written to the company to include a resolution for the removal of the firm's directors during its annual general meeting slated for December 16th. The Treasury is the majority shareholder in the power distributor, with Prof. Ndung'u legally charged with the appointment of directors to the company's board.
And I quote, as a shareholder with 50.1% shareholding in Kenya Power, we require the board of directors of the company to table before the AGM an ordinary resolution for the removal of directors pursuant to Article 129 of the company's memorandum and Article of Association, said Professor Ndung'u. The special notice is to be included in the agenda of the company's 101 AGM to be held by December 31st, 2022, and shall recommend the removal of Vivian Yeda as a director of the company, said the CS in the letter addressed to the Kenya Power Secretary Imelda Bore.
Kenya Power has already announced that current board chairman Vivian Yeda will be exiting the company as a director with effect from the date of the AGM. Mrs. Yeda's exit follows those of Elizabeth Rogo, Abdulazak Ali, and Caroline Kitonyi Wayaki, who resigned from the firm in June. The Treasury's move comes despite directors Vida Kemoli, Sarah Mbwaya, James Gitiba, and Justice RTD Aaron Ringera offering themselves for re-election to the company's key decision-making organ.
Kenya Power, the country's sole power distributor, has regularly been on the spot for the wrong reason, mainly due to frequent leadership wrangles, mismanagement, and poor service delivery. Poor service delivery. That's the key factor in this story, because poor service delivery is, at the moment, we don't understand why Kenya Power keeps on doing to Kenya, because you see that electricity keeps on going on and off every moment, and this may cause danger to human life. Mm-hmm. And the services they offer, it's becoming poor at the moment. It seems like they need a competitor so that we see how good they're going to do, because when you see you're the only people who are holding a particular, or you're the only ones who are being dependent on, you start to behave as if you don't care what others they're going to do. So this about Kenya Power, it's a good move when they want to fire the director at the moment, who is said to be Miss Yeda. This is a very good move for me. What do you think about this move that they're going to make?
I think it's a good move because we have seen Kenya Power misbehaving because of the fact that they're the only organization and company that is relied on in terms of power. And I think them eliminating the directors and bringing in new ones, it's a good deal. Because we hope, like when change comes, then change will also come in terms of services done to the country. So I believe when they employ other people and eliminate the former, it will be a good deal. Plus, I think there should be another organization and company that can be in competition with the Kenya Power to avoid this, this pride and this misbehaving they have each and every time.
In another sad story, Eldoret road accident claims 6 lives. 6 people, including a minor, have perished in a road accident at the new Eldoret bypass at Kaptigo area. The Wednesday evening accident involved 3 vehicles, an Isuzu Max belonging to the Kenya Road Authority, a 14-seater matatu, and a tractor. Uasin Gishu Police Commander Ayub Gitonga said the driver of the matatu and the Max were among the victims who died on the spot. Several other people who were injured in the crash were taken to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for treatment.
The wreckages of the vehicles were towed to the nearby Yamumbi police station. Johanna Rono, who witnessed the accident, said the driver of the tractor underestimated the speed of the D-Max and attempted to join the highway, causing the accident.
Road accidents are these it's becoming a festive season, and we see now people are starting to lose their lives. This is a very sad story, because when you see that it's a matatu from the Kangaroo company shuttle, it's said to be in an area called Mile Tisa, when on your way to Bungoma, I guess. It's a bypass over there. The road accidents at the moment, people need to be careful when they're driving on the road.
Yeah.
We can see that it said that the main cause was from the tractor.
Yeah, true.
The tractor is the main reason why the accident had happened. If it was not for the tractor, it could have not have happened. So, what are your thoughts when it comes to people at this festive season? What are you going to tell them?
My advice to them, first the question is, why do we have these road accidents? Like, who is to blame? Is it the roads themselves? Is it the drivers? Is it the car owners or the passengers themselves? Because first, I think everyone involved in the roads movement is supposed to observe the rules and regulations of being at the road. First, we have the passengers who are supposed to ensure that they have safety belts when they're traveling in the matatus, in the public vehicles, and even in the personal cars. And then now we have the drivers, especially now the drivers are to blame here. Because like this one, we saw that he underestimated the speed of the D-Max. And the D-Max is a big vehicle, compared to the small saloon cars. So I think everyone should make sure they observe the rules and regulations, especially at this festive season, because there will be a lot of movement in transport when people are going to and fro. And I think we are going to hear more cases if people don't observe these rules. Yeah.
Well, there you heard it from Miss Reginah. Just a reminder, keep on following us at Romy TV Africa on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell.
The gods of Igathe. Ex-Nairobi Governor candidate lands to top job in South Africa. Former Nairobi Governor aspirant Polycarp Igathe has been appointed the Chief Growth Officer by Tiger Brands. In his announcement, Tiger Brands CEO Noel Durgi said that Mr. Igathe will bring in more knowledge to the company as it seeks to extend its services across Africa. I look forward to the diverse of capabilities and knowledge of the continent that Polycarp will bring to the driving the execution of our ambitious growth strategy for the rest of Africa business and his broader contribution to the development and execution of the Tiger Brands business strategy, Noel said in a statement.
Mr. Igathe's appointment will take effect on December 1st, 2022. The job comes nearly 4 months after he lost his Nairobi governor bid. He previously worked in the same company as managing director of East Africa business before stepping down to take another role in the British petroleum company Vivo Energy. Tiger Brand CEO said, Mr. Igathe is bringing to the company strong commercial capability as well as marketing, sales, strategy and business leadership experience through multi-geography leadership roles across Africa.
Mr. Igathe has in the past worked at leading companies including Coca-Cola, Kenya Breweries, Hako Industries Limited and Equity Bank. At the same time, Tiger Brands has announced the appointment of Zaid Abrahams as its Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer, which will take officially from January 1st, 2023. During the concluded election for Nairobi governorship, Mr. Igathe lost to UDA candidate Johnson Sakaja, who garnered 699,392 votes. Mr. Igathe got 573,518 votes.
This is a very good move for Mr. Igathe.
Yeah.
At least the mind is moving out of politics at the moment. We can also say he has also won a part of it, because he has not been left just like that. Being selected in different companies, it seems that he has a good mindset of the business. And now this is a good move for him. I think he's going to do a great job over there.
Yeah, congratulations to him. And this should be a lesson to other aspirants who lost the seats they were going for. Because not everyone won, and in a particular competition there has to be a leader, there has to be a loser, and there has to be the one who is winning. And those who lose are not supposed to give up, and it's not the end of the road for them. So congratulations to Polycarp Igathe.
In other stories, we didn't find out exact cause of Olympic champion Samuel Wanjiru's death, investigators tell court. The puzzle of Olympic marathon champion Samuel Kamau Wanjiru's death dipped further yesterday after the lead investigator told a Nairobi court that police were yet to establish the exact cause of the athlete's death more than a decade ago. Testifying at the closure of the proceeding of a judicial inquest formed 7 years ago, senior Superintendent of Police Jacob Kaberi Kanake said various people had given inconsistent and conflicting accounts of the circumstances surrounding Wanjiru's death at his residence in Nakuru on May 15, 2011.
The investigator said while some witnesses had said Wanjiru died from a fall of the balcony of his house at Muthaiga Estate in Nyahururu town, they could not account for blood that was found at the balcony. Mr. Kanake added that no one saw Wanjiru fall or jump from the balcony and no photographs are taken at the scene where the marathoner's body was found. The judicial inquest is seeking to establish whether Wanjiru was killed and if so by whom, or whether he died as a result of an accident.
The inquest also seeks to find out whether the athlete was pushed off the balcony or he willfully jumped to his death. Wanjiru is alleged to have jumped off the balcony to his death. Asked by Chief Magistrate Wendy Kagendo to provide details of the circumstances under which the marathoner died, the investigator said he had no information. Well, it seems that this story will never be forgotten. He's a legend in the athletic sports, and I really want to know what actually happened to this Olympic champion, the late Wanjiru's. We want to know what aspired to his death. But the question is, even if we know the main cause of his death, what will it benefit the athletics section?
Yeah, because it has been 10 years since he died. It's a decade. And I remember like the time he died, it was really so sad for the fans, for also the KQ community, because he was a legend there. And it was alleged, as even the report is saying, it was alleged that he jumped off a building, and many people are saying, like the wife was saying that he was drunk, and so he fell by an accident. But then what brings such a case after 10 years? What brings such a case after all that time? Was it like, was there no justice that was performed during that time when he died? So it's such a shame to the investigations department.
Well, keep on following us at Rami TV Africa on YouTube and Instagram and also on TikTok. We have another story here.
Queries as owner of collapsed city building out of the country. The whereabouts of the owner of a building that collapsed in Kasarani, Nairobi County, killing 3 people, remain unknown nearly 2 weeks later. Nairobi County Police Commander Adamson Bungei told the nation that the developer may have traveled out of the country. He could be outside the country from the information we have, but this is just one line of reasoning that we are pursuing. He won't avoid us for long, he said.
And I quote, but as you already know, we have already arrested the contractor and we are investigating which county official is culpable. The city police was added. The police are investigating the validity of the approvals for the building amid claims that the foreman was arrested last month by an enforcement team but was allowed back at the construction site days before the structure collapsed.
There were also claims that the foreman, who is still working free, had told workers to continue working after officials from the Nairobi County government flagged the building 2 days before it collapsed. This comes as owners of other buildings that collapsed recently in Ruaka and Ruiru face the law.
On Tuesday, a court in Kiambu allowed the police to continue holding Mr. Stephen Gitao and 4 county officials for between 7 and 10 days as they conclude investigation into the collapse of the building in Ruiru. Now, this collapsing of buildings, it seems it's becoming a story nowadays. Every day we come up with the stories. You hear that there are buildings that have cracks, that have not been constructed well, and these are very alarming situation. We want to see how do these people construct these buildings, because when you see that you're being evicted in a building whereby it's in a scary way that no one can live in, this brings a lot of attention to see how these foremen or these contractors have the architectural capability of building these houses.
This situation of buildings collapsing, I somehow find it ironical, because as much as the law is against the contractors themselves, we see that the law itself is also participating in the collapsing of the buildings. Because formerly we saw that these contractors, the law comes, instead of telling them that this is the amount of buildings you have to put in your building, the structure you want, this is the amount of laws you have to put. But we find now they take the bribes and then leave them. Now, because they have already spent money in giving the bribe to this law, you find they have to add another floor into the building to make sure that they recover the money they already spent in the bribe. So we cannot blame the contractors themselves. Well, for me, I'm blaming the law. Yeah.
Well, in other stories, DRC Congo conflict, Uhuru Kenyatta mission impossible. Kenya's former president Uhuru Kenyatta was in eastern DRC Congo, main city of Goma, this week as fresh clashes with M23 rebels occurred just to the north, sending thousands fleeing. Troops in the Democratic Republic of Congo were battling M23 fighters in Kibumba, 20 kilometers north of Goma. Security officials and local residents said the M23 has recently seized swathes of territory in North Kivu province, displacing tens of thousands of people in their advance.
Kibumba is considered one of the last obstacles to the rebels before Goma, a commercial hub of 1 million people on the Rwandan border. On Tuesday, rumors that the M23 was approaching sent a fresh wave of people fleeing to the Kanyaruchinya displacement camp south of Kibumba. About 40,000 people are currently in the camp, according to its head. A security official who asked for anonymity said that the people began to flee after seeing soldiers themselves retreating towards Goma after clashes with M23 rebels.
Well, we just hope the former president is going to do a very good job there, because it's a mission possible. It's not a mission impossible.
Yeah, true.
It's going to help out in the in bringing peace, because we see that he's like a peacemaker at the moment, because he has been traveling since when he left the office as the president of Kenya. He has been going around, has been being talked about when he's trying to bring peace in these countries, and one of them is DRC Congo, which is at the moment struggling to bring peace in these areas that are having conflicts at the moment.
Congo, I'm really proud of him, because as much as he resigned from power, his actions with other European countries and other countries also, like he's really doing a good job. No, rape murder suspect tells court he is a prophet.
Wow.
There was drama in a Homa Bay court on Wednesday when a suspect accused of defiling a 10-year-old child in Rangwe 2 weeks ago told a magistrate that he is a prophet who can foresee the future. Rafael Okinyi is accused of defiling the child in an attack that led to her death.
He appeared before Homa Bay Principal Magistrate Ruth Maloba on Thursday, but failed to plead to any charges as police are still investigating the case. He told the court that he can see into the future and help people in need through prayers. And I quote, "It's a gift I got at a young age. I was praying at the base of a cross when the Holy Spirit descended upon me," he said.
Wow, the suspect claims to be a member of Legio Maria. Okay, Legio Maria, and had lived in a church in Sindo town. He said he's an orphan who dropped out of school when his sponsor withdrew support. He preached at different churches. He went to Rangwe 2 weeks ago and allegedly defiled a grade 2 pupil. Mr. Okinyi is also accused of strangling the child, leading to her death a few days later. First, I don't want to even continue this story because it's a bit weird.
Do you know Legio Maria, where these are found? Legio Maria mostly is a group. It's found mostly in the western side of Kenya.
Okay.
If you have seen these members who dance on the road, hitting drums, they're like Mkorino, but they're not Korinos.
Okay.
They're from the western part. Now, something weird about this story is that you are a prophet. You are said to be a prophet.
Okay.
Being a prophet doesn't mean you go and struggle people. doesn't mean you're
When you go
supposed to
further
kill.
ahead saying that the Holy Spirit descended upon you, how on earth? I think it's the high time these men who call themselves prophets to stop calling themselves prophets.
Yeah.
Because how can you use the name of God and the Holy Spirit at large to say that it descended upon you and then you rape a child, you strangle her to death, and she is a 10-year-old girl? I think that is really beyond understanding.
Yeah, it reminds me, it comes back to the Bible, but when you see the Bible, we see that Jesus himself was a prophet, whereby he was not allowed, he was not being accepted in his own community.
Yeah.
And it said, being a prophet, you are not going to be accepted to your in your community. People are not going to agree that you are a true prophet. And now we see that this guy, he comes out and he proclaims himself as a prophet. There's no day that someone will come just say, I'm a prophet. Because what really shows that you're a prophet? What have you done?
And is the prophecy telling you to rape children?
Exactly. So we can't say, let me just urge people out there, don't just wake up one day and call yourself a man of God, or just don't wake up and call yourself a prophet in a way that I'm a prophet of God, I'm a prophet of this. Prophets are not, it's not just a name. I cannot just wake up in the morning, just call myself, okay, I'm Prophet Emmanuel.
Yeah.
With no meaning. Do you know the real meaning of prophet before you call yourself a prophet? Yeah.
Sure. No.
Going internationals, Walmart employees kills 6 at a store in US mass shooting. Wow. A Walmart employee shot dead 6 people at the US store, bustling with Thanksgiving holiday shoppers in the country's second mass shooting in 4 days, before turning the pistol on himself, police said Wednesday. 4 other people remained hospitalized in a known condition following the Tuesday night rampage in Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. Police Chief Mark Solecki said.
Solecki told the news conference the gunman was believed to have died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and that the motive behind the latest attack in America's gun violence crisis was not immediately known. The assault 2 days before Thanksgiving, the quintessential American family holiday, marked this year on November 24th, followed a weekend gun attack at an LGBTQ club in Colorado that killed 4 people.
It was also the second mass shooting in the state of Virginia this month. 3 students at the University of Virginia who played on its football team were killed November 13th by a classmate after a field trip. Well, this it seems like today we have been talking about deaths and crimes that haven't happened.
Today was all about crimes.
Yeah. Well, that was it, dear viewer. We've come to the end of our story. And just remember, yesterday we talked about a man. I was talking about a man before we closed the show. I was talking about a man who was owning approximately 700,000 Kenyan
Yeah,
shillings.
I remember the story.
Yeah, and he lost the money had finished within a week, and within that week he had enjoyed himself, found a woman.
Yeah.
A woman refused to go to sleep in a hotel, and told her. I told him, let's go to my place. I'm just leaving.
And actually, he was treated like a king. But
at the
apart
end of the
from,
day,
he was a poor man. He was no longer a king, but a peasant.
Yeah. So make sure you take care of yourself out there.
Men stay away from women who are not related to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from alcohol. Stay away from unnecessary companionships.
Not only men, also women.
Yeah.
Stay away from men who you don't know. You don't just meet a person from the first day and you just go with him or go with her without knowing the real background of this person. Because you can see that the moment there are deaths, all of a sudden someone has just killed this person has just killed someone. So be careful out there, and just a word of the day. Make sure today you make someone happy.
And above all, above God, fear women.
Correct. That's a very, very right truth. I was your host, Emmanuel Onyango, here at Romi TV Africa.
And I, Reginah Samuel. See you tomorrow.
Same time, same place.